And it's Ken Kraetzer for cbsi Services. We're in Lake George, New York at the Independent Bankers Association meeting for New York State. And one of our speakers today, Jeff Marsico from the Kafafian Group, talked on survive or thrive, strategies to implement today to be relevant tomorrow. And Jeff, very lively session that you led today. And one of the points you made was you have to be look at the bank that you want to be as kind of a model. What were some of your key thoughts on that one?
Yeah, I think incrementalism is hurting our progress to becoming the relevant bank that we need to be in the changing environment of customer needs and technology. If we just adopt an incremental approach, it's not going to be fast enough. So identify the bank that you want to be, serving the customers that are your high lifetime value customers, and then make the changes at your bank to meet that need, to become that bank that you have identified.
And you said a lot of it starts with your strategic plan and some of the elements of that. Having an IT plan is very important today, a marketing plan, capital plan. What are some of the elements that you find our bankers need to incorporate into their strategic plan?
Yeah, I think the marketing plan, the IT plan, I think a risk appetite statement and a capital plan are critical to all be in sync with your strategy. Those plans should be driven by your strategy, not the opposite way around. So often we see very short-term and tactically focused marketing plans and IT plans that say things like, oh, we need to change all of the ATMs to be compliant, or we need to run our home equity campaign in the spring. We need to be much more strategic in pointing ourselves to that bank we want to become.
Very good. And you talked about customers that will have high lifetime value, even if they are customers you might have to develop over a period of time. How do banks do that? Find those customers that have potential high lifetime value?
I think it's looking within their own customer base. When you hear advisors say things like data analytics, this is bringing that term down to the ground level. Look at the customers that are currently providing you the greatest profits and trace how they got there, and then go find more of them. And if they are in abundant supply in your customer base, and if they are in abundant supply in your markets, then maybe you should design your bank around serving them specifically and not be a general bank.
And one of the comments that came out in the discussions which you were leading was the importance of training plans. And it comes out of your background as in the Navy. Trying to encourage employees to advance their professional education. How can banks do that to really help themselves and help their employees?
Yeah, I think it's first turn them functionally competent and even excellent at the position they're currently in, and then prepare them for their next position and their career path. Banking is an accidental profession. There's no banking degrees generally in college campuses, so the banks are going to have to teach them to be awesome bankers and to serve their high lifetime value customers how they want to be served.
And another lively point on discussion was about branches and their future. And you made a number of points that customers want branches. They want proximity. They want convenience, even if they may be transacting a lot digitally. Why are branches important to customers, and why banks need to consider their value?
I think it's a way for a community financial institution to differentiate itself from neobanks and no-branch banks, in that survey after survey, even the younger customers say they like branches, but that doesn't mean they're going to pay a whole lot for it. So banks have to come up with creative ways to have physical presence that serves customers where they want to be.
And you led roundtables talking about strategic needs of banks for their future, and a lot of it was around staffing. Also some comments about how to cross-sell the products from agencies that they may acquire. What were some of your takeaways on the roundtables on critical needs for banks?
Yeah, one of them was customer growth. And the pushback on the customer growth from the roundtables was we have plenty of opportunity within our own customer base to serve them in a greater capacity. And that's where some of those fee-based lines of businesses, but even traditional spread-based products, a lot of customers are going to other financial institutions to serve. So first and foremost, in terms of customer acquisition, it's about maximizing the amount of business you do with your existing customer base. And then secondarily, it talks about being able to acquire customers digitally. Community banks have traditionally not been very good at that, but neobanks have been awesome at it. And traditional community banks are going to have to learn to be awesome at it too.
Very good. And you've got a book out. A couple of people had it out on the tables. Tell us about it.
Yeah, it's called Squared Away, which came out of my military background. If you got your stuff together, you're generally squared away. How bankers can succeed as economic first responders. And it's a way to create a positive operating discipline in your financial institutions so that change, advancement, future relevance doesn't all have to emanate from the executive suite. It works its way throughout your organization.
Very good. And just tell us about your company, the Kafafian Group, your practice.
Yeah, Kafafian Group, we're a community bank consultancy. We do strategic planning, we do process optimization, we do financial advisory, and we do general management consulting. We're a small firm, but we're a relatively large firm for community bank consultancy.
Hey, got to ask you about your time in the U.S. Navy, working in intelligence. What did you take away from your career in the Navy that helps you in banking and your consulting practice today?
How to lead people. The military puts a lot of emphasis on creating leaders because it's imperative if you're going to perform under tremendously stressful situations. We're in more of a stressful situation in financial institutions, and we haven't really given a lot of effort on the leadership training. I think we need to focus on those soft skills to maximize the talents of the employees that report to us.
Jeff Marsico, great presentation today here at the Independent Bankers Association of New York State. Great to see you.
Thank you, Ken.
Pleasure. This is Ken Kraetzer for CBSI Services.